All right, Erica Smith, head coach Travis Mercado, Jennesis Martinez. Coach, just kind of give us a quick recap. Region tournament, I don't think we've talked since then. You get 10 qualifiers into the national tournament that's on Friday.
I said it when they handed us the trophy, and I'll say it again just because it's fun, back-to-back regional champs. And I say that it comes with a lot of hard work from the girls on the team. Every single person contributed. All 15 girls that wrestled contributed to that. And then the other, 20 some odd girls that did not travel with us contributed to that. So to be able to just say that we were able to do that again consistently, and it just shows the consistency of our program. It shows what these young ladies put in from day one when we arrived to campus in August and all the way through February, March postseason. 10 qualifiers out of the 15 that traveled. 3 seniors, 2 of them here sitting next to me. Isabeau Shellac making a return trip to the national championship. Jennesis looking for her 5th All-American honor. Erica going for her 4th national qualifying spot, and then again trying to make a return trip to the podium. And then I think the story of the year has been the freshmen. 7 true freshmen qualify through to the national championship. So I'm leaning on Erica, Jen, and Bo a little bit to be leaders in that aspect of what it's like to be at the national championship. And then, the 7 to bring some youth and excitement of like, we're going to the national championship because, these girls have been there before. So it's, again, have that excitement. Again, really great regional. Fort Hays is tough. We wrestled them at the beginning of the year and kind of put a little bit of a whooping to them, but then they came on really strong at the end of the year. So it's really exciting. I've told Dave Yonke, our sports info director, this a lot, that I think our region's the toughest, and maybe we don't have the likes of an Iowa or a North Central or a McKendree, but we had 125 people in our region. The next biggest region was 110 people. And then the next one after that was in the low 90s and then in the 80s. So to say that our region's not tough, we have the most people wrestling and vying for a spot. So to earn a spot in the national championship through our region, I think was well earned. Not just us, but everybody that competed that weekend.
Yeah, girls, for you guys, both kind of similar to the men that were just in here, both making return trips to the national tournament. What can you give? What kind of knowledge can you give? We talked about the 7 freshmen that are going. What kind of knowledge can you give to them to know that you wish you would have known your first trip?
I think just at the end of the day, it's just wrestling. You have to go out there and wrestle every single match. Don't put too much emphasis on anything. And just go out and have fun. A lot of people would love to be at the national tournament and they don't get to. So just go out there, wrestle, do what you know how to do, and have fun.
Yeah, I was going to say that, like, the fact that they're at the national tournament at a freshman level is really awesome. So just practicing gratitude like that entire day is something that just keeps it fun and keeps it like, I'm just here to wrestle. Like, I made it. Why not? Like, why kind of push aside everything I've done all year and then make it like so hard that day on yourself instead of just having fun and wrestling freely.
And we've talked several times this year, Coach, about how much better women's wrestling is this year as opposed to the last couple of years. And me and you looked over the brackets yesterday, and not to make it sound like a daunting task, but you look at it and it's tough. It is now a tough turn. It's not easy to be an All-American. Just talk about how much better women's wrestling in general has gotten over the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, to the size of the tournament has grown, I think, every single year. This is very much likely with us becoming moving from an emerging sport to a championship sport, that this will be the last of what I'm going to deem like a super tournament with a 32-person bracket. That growth has allowed more entries, has allowed girls to go and challenge for spots. There's just more bodies at the national tournament. Is it tougher? Maybe. Do you make it tougher on yourself? Like Erica and Jennesis just said, do you make it tougher on yourself by going, oh my gosh, it's a 32-person bracket? Sure. But we're going to look at it at one match at a time. And, it's fun to think about 7 years ago when we started this program was really kind of like the last year of what the WCWA, where the NCAA and NAI were combined. And at that point, we were only able to take 15, but like essentially every team could bring 15. There was no qualifying to it. And even 2-3 years prior to that, before I started the program here, you could bring 30 girls to the national championship. I remember vaguely one year we brought 3 or 4 girls at 101 pounds, and we had a champion, a runner-up, and a 6th place, all from the same team, right? So those days were kind of far behind us. And to say that those weren't tough tournaments, I think every year's tough. Every year's tough. And it's really just a matter of perspective of, is it tough or are you tough? And can you navigate, a Friday, and can you navigate a Saturday? And these 2 girls have shown that they can navigate Friday really well. Even our freshmen, they've shown that they can navigate a Friday really well. When we go back to Missouri Valley, you go back to their high school accolades of Fargo All-Americans, recruiting showcase, postseason nationals, folk style, like all of our girls that are going to the national championship have had that experience. So yeah, it's going to be tough. Yes, it's going to be, every match is going to be, a bloodbath, if you will. We're tested. We're ready. We're ready for that. We're going to show up and show out and have fun wrestling. It's just another day for us.
I say, kind of playing off that, girls. I mean, you've been there. This is it for you, and obviously you want to win. You want to get on the podium, but is it also kind of a time to celebrate what you guys have done? And I would think the entire tournament is going to be kind of a celebration of the transition into next year, but to kind of celebrate your careers, is that kind of the way you're looking at it? As long as you win?
Well, yeah, I think I'm really just going into it trying to have fun, not have this pressure of like, I need to make it, like, and then it just, I don't know, I get really tense and stressed out, and then I wrestle really poorly. So I'm trying to like push that to the side and more so just focus on like, I don't know, wrestling freely and just surrendering the outcome, because that's what I've been doing the past few tournaments, and it's just ended up really well for me. So I'm just trying to, I don't know, not have this tournament kind of crash and burn. It's like, this is the one that's like supposed to be the fun one. So like, why do that to myself? So I'm really excited to wrestle this weekend.
Yeah, kind of same thing to what Erica said. I'm just excited to wrestle this weekend. It's my last time competing in college, so I just want to go out and I want to have fun every single match. I want to let loose and just wrestle like I know how to do. That's what I did at regionals. I wasn't really focused on winning or losing. I was just focused on wrestling and scoring points and having fun. So that's what I plan to do this weekend.
And it's sorry. Also, I think it's really fun to like focus on a match as if like this could be my last match, and it's like that's the exciting part. Is like, why hold back right now? Like this could be my last match. Every match could be that. So like, just give it all. Like, why not? Like, run through the girls. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
And Travis, you've seen this tournament grow from, like you say, bring everybody on your roster to having to fight to qualify, and now you're kind of transitioning into what do we want to take to the next level of championships. So I'm just guessing, the satisfaction of seeing how this sport has grown, knowing that this school was a big part of it and will also be a big part of the next chapter.
Yeah, it's really gratifying, honestly. And I remember specifically recruiting Genesis and her coming in to campus for a visit. It was late February, early March of 2019. We were on spring break, so there were a couple girls here, and we worked out and we were talking about like what's the next kind of steps down the road of what women's collegiate wrestling was going to look like. And we talked about the emerging sports status and like what that looked like, what steps, how close we were. And I remember telling Genesis, hopefully at some point you're going to be wrestling for an NCAA championship. We're a year shy. Darn, right? And I know that's, lightly said, but to see that growth and to be a part of it and to be a leader here on the western half of the United States. And I'll say half because outside of Simon Fraser, when we started the program, it was us. Schreiner was west of the Mississippi, if you will. or west of Kansas City, and to see that growth, right? And my very first year of coaching women's college wrestling in 2014, 2015. That sounds right. No, 13, 14. Yeah, 13, 14. There were maybe 42 schools. That was NAIA. Junior college probably had more NCAA teams at the time, NCAA teams altogether. This year at our national championship, just for NCAA, I think we have 60 some odd schools represented. And there were 96 schools that competed this year. To just see that growth, it's like, whoa. At one point, there were like 4 NCAA schools, and now we're at 100 in just 10 years. So this chapter's closing. I'm very grateful that I've been able to be a big part of it, being in the different leadership groups with the NWCA and the NCAA part, helping mold what an NCAA championship should look like, could look like. Having Oscar Ramirez, our associate AD, being part of that championship committee now, I think it's great. I can still have a little bit of a voice in the sense of like, hey, like this is what we would like or what I would like. Doesn't mean I'm going to get what I like, but I can dream, right? I can live in fantasy land a little bit, but I venture it's going to look very, very similar to men's Division II, men's Division III championship. The access ratio, 1 per weight class, 180 qualifiers total, right? So 3 guys, 3 females from a region, maybe, right? We haven't quite hammered out those details yet from what I've heard, but very close to that. So to see that, and again, these girls said it, like, how many times did this young girl watch the NCAA finals growing up? And man, that's cool. I hope I get to wrestle in an NCAA finals. And now we have an opportunity to provide that championship for them. And I'm just looking forward to that next chapter and hopefully continue to being a big part of that push for more schools adding. And like I said, with an interview with you earlier in the year, like it's not so much lobbying to join women's wrestling, it's come play with us now. And I'm really excited for that next step.
Kind of a two-parter for Erica and Jen. You're 4 to 6 years here. What would you say you've brought to Colorado Mesa? And then what would others say about you and what you brought?
Erica brought the campus of love.
We don't talk. Campus of love. I don't know. I think it's hard. I have a hard time talking about myself, but like, I don't know, just like the atmosphere in the room has changed a lot. And whether that's specifically from me or from Jen, like it's a group effort that's brought that. I don't know, it's just like a joy when you walk in the room, and not to say it wasn't when I was a freshman, but it's just been like, it's grown a lot into being like a family and a unit, and like we are all together in this. Anytime someone has like an issue or anything, like we all talk about it and we figure it out. It's like drama stops, any kind of like, I don't know, nitpicky stuff, like it stops. Like we all just kind of work together to uplift each other and our coaches. I think that's been really cool to see. Like I know women's teams can be kind of difficult to manage sometimes, but I don't know. I think we do a really good job of that. And like we're all friends in there, and like we all challenge each other, even in the weight room. Like my rack, at least, like we just try to push everyone that's around us, which has been really fun. So yeah. You go, Jen.
I think for me, I guess what I've brought to the program is just being someone who's a leader and someone who kind of sets an example for others. I don't necessarily like to tell other people what to do, but I like to do, I guess, the right things. And I like to set high goals for myself so that other people can see that and see, oh, she's doing these big things. I can do that too. So I like to, I guess, just be a leader in that way. And I mean, if my teammates ever need anything, I'm always there to support them and help them in practice. Alyssa Perez, she's my practice partner a lot, one of the freshmen. And anytime she has a question, I'm always there to help her and guide her. Same with Bella. She's been my practice partner a lot for the past 3 years. And just anytime she needs help with anything, or any of the other freshmen or anyone that comes to me with anything.
Travis, anything to add about your 2 seniors sitting here?
better get the towel and waterworks ready. You know. No, but I think Genesis hit that nail on the head. I talk about that a lot, right? Her nickname's a silent assassin, and not only does that just apply to wrestling, I think that applies to how she works and the leadership role that she's taken since day one being on this team. She just does everything and doesn't require praise, just does it. And I think a lot of the people on the team look at her in that role, like, whoa, Genesis is doing that. Well, I want to be like Genesis, so I'm going to do that. It's the whole like Mean Girls Regina George thing, right? Like Regina George bought hoop earrings, so I'm going to wear hoop earrings, right? So I think it's that same type of mentality of like, well, Genesis is a 4-time All-American and she does XYZ. Well, if I do XYZ, I could do the same thing, right? Erica's brought a different leadership in the sense of, you know, I think the way that we approach our faith and how we talk about each other, right? She's a leader in FCA. She leads worship at church. And I think she's made me just a better overall human being in that aspect, being able to challenge me that way. And I'm really thankful for that, because I don't know if 4 years ago if I was that person. And it's not that I've changed for better or for worse, but I think I've taken a little bit different outlook on things just because of the way Erica challenges me to be a better person, not necessarily a better coach or anything, but just how can you do this in a different way? And I've thought about that a lot. I'm really thankful for that approach that she's coming. She probably doesn't even know that. And I've just now announced it to the world.
Yeah.
On a lighter topic, question of the week. A obscure or rare food that you've had sometime in your life, and a little bit of a backstory of where that, or how that came to be.
Oh man. All right,
I
knew you guys knew.
You said a rare food?
Rare, obscure, some different, unique.
All right. I have two, but I'll just choose one. When I went to Peru a few years ago, and they like just grill a guinea pig, like the whole guinea pig just goes in the fryer. And like it came out on the plate, and it like whole body of this guinea pig's just like sitting there. They call it like pew pew or something like that. And I ate it, and it was really gross. So, but my dad really liked it, and yeah. The other one was I ran over a rattlesnake, and we kept it and took it home and ate it so that it didn't go to waste. But we ran it over in our Jeep when we were off-roading, and we were like, okay, we can't. No, it was only the head, and I was like, we can't let this go to waste. And it was like a big one, so ate rattlesnake that night for dinner.
You don't have one?
I don't have anything like that weird. I don't know. I'd say probably like octopus or something. Just I think the first time I tried it was at a Chinese buffet when I was younger. My grandpa kind of dared me to try it, and I did, and I actually thought it was pretty good.
That's fire.
That's a good one. I've had crocodile actually down in when I went to Australia. That's not obscure or unique, dang. Oh, number 5. All right. I don't know. When I was in Sweden, I had some stuff. I don't even know what it was when we went on a national team trip. I didn't ask. It was good, but I don't know how it looks. Oh, the taco shop. So backstory for all of our viewers, right? Chuck Pfeiffer, the old men's coach, retired 2 years ago now. I took him to a taco shop, Tacos El Gordo in Vegas. Please, NIL deals, hit us up. And I told Pfeiffer, hey, stand in this line. And he got some pork tacos or something. I was standing in the line for brain, lengua, cheek. And Chuck Pfeiffer texts me. He's like, I don't think I'm in the right place. There's a lot of people, and I'm just not in the right place. And I was like, you're fine. Just stand in line. I got you. So then we had Chuck Pfeiffer and Coach Mendoza eat cow brain at Tacos El Gordo one year, and it was pretty good.
It's okay.
Good answers. We like those. Thank you, and good luck this weekend.
Yeah, good math.
Did fried guinea pig win or what?